Good morning, Nihon. In this video, I'm gonna go through some of the answers from the homework. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. In this question, we are solving for x. But before I do any solving, I'm gonna try to simplify this side. Anytime you have fractions like this, something that's kind of helpful is that you can rewrite it as 2 over 1, because 2 is the same thing as 2 over 1. Divide just means divide, like a fraction is a divide sign, so divided by 2 over 7. Change this one to multiply. Flip this one around. And essentially we get 2 over 1 times 7 over 2. The 2's will cancel. 7 over 1 is just 7. So this whole thing right here is the same thing as 7. Now we just solve it like a normal linear equation. Subtract the 6. Multiply by 10 to get rid of the divide by 10. So times by 10. Cancels. Times it by 10. And the answer we get is 1 times 10. Final answer is x equals 10. All right, cool. On to the next one. The next question is going to be, we have these 4 test scores, and then the student takes another test. After taking another test, the average is 34. So the formula for average is the average equals the total over the amount. What score on the next exam to average 34? Well, we're gonna plug in 34 for the average. The amount is gonna be 4 tests plus 1 more test. So the amount is gonna equal 5. And then the total is gonna be the next score exam plus what we currently have. If we add up these 4 numbers, we're gonna get 140. The next exam, we don't know what that is, but we can just call it x. Now, we just solve for x. We have 34 equals 140 plus x divided by 5. Multiply the 5 to this side. That's gonna give us 170. Subtract away 140. And we get a final answer of x equals 30. That means for the next test, what score do they need to get to average 34? They're gonna have to score a 30. The next question. What is the percent increase from 80 to 100? 80 is the initial. 100 is the final. The change, which sometimes is called delta, is going to equal final minus initial, and we get 20. To find the percent increase, we take our change, whatever the change is, and divide it by the original. The original is 80, so we divide it by 80, and we get a fraction. Simplify the fraction, cancel, cancel. 2/8, simplify it some more, and we get 1/4. 1/4, turn that into a percentage, and we get 25%. An easy way to remember that 1/4 is 25% is because there are 4 quarters in a dollar, and if you only have 1 quarter, that's 25. So the answer to this question is going to be a 25% increase. Let's check our answer. Let's take 80 and multiply it by 25%. Well, 25% is just 1/4, so let's multiply it by 1/4. The ones cancel. 80 divided by 4 equals 20. And we want an increase, right? So we take this 20 and we add it on top of our original number, 80. 80 plus 20 does indeed equal 100. So our answer is correct, a 25% increase. Next question. My board is kind of grimy. The average of 8 numbers is 21. So average equals total over amount. The average of 8 numbers is 21. So 21 equals something, we don't know what it is, we just call it total, divided by 8 numbers, that's an 8. After adding a new number 8, what is the new average? We're looking for the new average. So the new average is going to equal, well, after adding a new number, we're going to have 9 numbers, right? Because we had 8, we're adding another one, we have 9. It's going to be some total. It's going to be the total that we had previously plus our new number. Because all we're doing is adding on a new number. So the old total plus 8 more. Now I can solve for this total by moving the 8 to that side. So let's times it by 8. Times it by 8. 8 times 21 equals 168. So that old total is a 168, which means that number right here is 168. 168 plus 8 is 176. Divided by 9. Let's do some division. That goes in once. That goes in 9 times. That goes in 5 times. There's a decimal. And that'll be 45. It's repeating, so it's going to be 19.55 repeating. I kind of made a mistake. All the answers should have been whole numbers. You're not supposed to have any decimals, so I kind of made a mistake with that. But the process is what's important. We can set up our equations, and then solving for that total, and then plugging it in, and we'll get our new average. There were some other questions on the homework that I kind of forgot to talk about. One of them was like the inclusive, exclusive questions. Like we'll talk about that later, don't worry. The last question is the taxi cab question. The question went something like, there's a flat fee of, I don't know, $6, and then they charge $2 per mile. And then the question asks, how much is a 10-mile trip? So to do this, our price is going to equal the flat fee that you just have to pay off the bat, which is going to be $6, plus $2 per mile times 10 miles, and we get 26 for the final price. Later, we're going to see questions just like this, but it's going to go the other direction. Like, we're going to get the price, and then they might ask us, what's the flat fee? Or they may ask us, how many miles can you travel? There's always going to be one unknown variable that you're going to have to solve for. All right, I hope this was helpful, and yeah, hope you have a good rest of the day.